Today I will introduce you to my assistant Joe. Joe is a decluttering specialist with his very own structured step-by-step method. Joe will approach the topic of where to start decluttering. He won't go into details of how to do it, but where to start. Joe says the start is crucial for your success. He will also talk about how to remove roadblocks, how to create space for new projects, how to relieve yourself of pressure and to help you clear your mind. We've been working together for ages. He's a wonderful guy, maybe a little bit peculiar. His hobby is being a magician. So now, ladies and gentlemen, please meet my assistant, Joe. Oh, should have probably told you that's his very special way of showing up. He never shows up in one piece. He's a step-by-step guy. It's his magic mojo. And it's also his way of pointing out his very specific decluttering philosophy. And what Joe is telling us right now is, well, many of us tend to use a top-down strategy when decluttering, meaning they start on eye level or overhead level objects and then work their way down. Joe is highly recommending doing it the opposite way, which means take a bottom-up strategy, start decluttering on the floor level first. Why? Joe says that we underestimate the impact that things that don't belong on the floor have on our not so conscious mind. Things like baskets, boxes, suitcases, shopping bags, or maybe even artwork leaning against walls on the floor. Joe says that objects on the floor that don't belong there signal some sort of blockage to our need of moving forward in life. Like, if you want to move forward on a road, what you need is green lights and no blocks on the road, right? So, removing objects on the floor is also like removing roadblocks. And that's one benefit of starting with the floor, removing roadblocks. And the other benefit is that usually in most households, the number of objects on the floor that need to be taken care of, that need to be cleared out, is usually not that high. So you get fast results, and fast results motivate you to move on to the next level. Okay, and the next level is anything between floor level up to the top of anything desk-like, your office desk, your dinner table, your kitchen counters. And this level is all about making space for new projects. What you want to do is you want to try empty some space to give your eyes and your mind a rest. Now, what you do is you simply get rid of things or store them away, things that you don't need on a daily basis, things that you don't need to deal with instantly. That gives you some space, and that space will create the opportunities and the growing of space and potential for new projects, which will then motivate you to move on to the very next level, which is eye level. I know this is really very strange, but I just can't make him show up in one piece. I hope it's okay for you. Now, eye level would be when you stand up, anything that you see, like look at bookshelves and see what can be sorted out. A good way of treating bookshelves is see if all the books are standing in an upright position and not lying horizontally. And also do a little check on your walls. Are the artworks hanging there really representing your current taste? Or is there anything depressive hanging around? Take that down. Do a quick check of your walls. And then you can, grande finale, move up to the overhead space. And what you want to do there is see if there are any very heavy objects such as this one tend to bring pressure into our lives, some sort of the feeling of a burden that may even result in a headache that you have. So try to bring all those heavy objects down, and also a great number of objects on the overhead areas will give you the signal of a cluttered mind. Remember that every object, everything that you own, needs your attention, whether you are aware of it or not at all. So you want to make your overhead area lighter to relieve yourself of that confusing energy, and that will clear your head. Now, as you know, there are so many benefits of decluttering. One of the less obvious is that decluttering is actually training your management skill of decision making, because decluttering is all about decision making. You have to decide whether to keep an object, whether to put it somewhere else. And so right now, where home is the place to be, because that's where you have total control over your life, you can actually turn your home into a workshop area where you train your management skills. And then, of course, the other benefit is that decluttering means staying in motion in your head and also externally. And staying in motion is a key element to staying in balance, which is always beneficial at any time, but of course, especially now in times of life with the coronavirus. Another final word. Decluttering is something that you should do now that might sound strange, out of passion. So if you don't feel like decluttering, even now that you are at home and actually you should be doing it, if you don't feel like it, don't do it. But should you wake up in the middle of the night, let's say 3 a.m., and think, ooh, now I'd like to declutter, get up and do it. Use the power of now. Happy people in happy places.